Uh, Good morning, students. How have you been? I hope you are good. Today we are going to learn about European colonial powers in Africa, and we are going to start with major colonial powers in Africa. Between 1885 and 1914, Britain took nearly 30% of Africa's population under its control, 15% for France, 11% for Portugal, 9% for Germany, and 7% for Belgium, and 1% of Italy. So you're going to see the dominant powers. The first one was Britain. Britain controlled the largest share of Africa, including Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and many others, focused on resource extraction and establishing settler colonies with European populations. France controlled large parts of West and Central Africa, including Senegal, Mali, and Congo, emphasized assimilation, trying to integrate Africans into French culture. Other European players included Portugal, one of the excuse me, one of the first European powers in Africa, with colonies like Angola and Mozambique, primarily interested in trade and resource extraction. Germany gained colonies later in the scramble, including Namibia and Tanzania, ruled harshly and focused on exploiting resources. Belgium, King Leopold II's brutal rule over the Congo Free State was a major humanitarian crisis. Italy seized Ethiopia and Somalia during the fascist era, but their control was short-lived. Spain held smaller colonies like Equatorial Guinea and Morocco. There are two countries that were not colonized, which is Ethiopia or Liberia. One country that was not colonized was Liberia. Reasons for colonization for Africa. The first one is resources. Africa was seen as a treasure trove of raw materials like gold, diamond, rubber, timber, and palm oil. European powers wanted to control these resources to feed their industries back home for trade. New markets. With the Industrial Revolution, European nations had a surplus of manufactured goods. They saw Africa as a new market to sell these goods. The third one is cheap labor. Colonies provided a source of cheap labor to extract resources and work on plantations. The fourth one is competition. European powers competed for prestige and dominance on the world stage. Colonies were seen as a sign of power and wealth. Another one is strategic location. Some African territories were valued for their strategic location, allowing control of trade routes, or serving as military outposts. Social Darwinism. Some European used racist ideologies like social Darwinism to justify colonization, believing they had a right to rule over inferior races. The seventh one is the spread of Christianity. Missionaries sought to convert Africans to Christianity and believed European rule would facilitate this. Another subtopic that we are going to see is methods of colonization. The first one is military conquest. European powers used superior military technology to overpower and subjugate African societies. This was especially common in areas with resistance. The second one is exploiting rivalries. Europeans sometimes fueled existing rivalries between African groups to gain allies and weaken resistance. The third one is treaties and alliances. European powers negotiated treaties with African rulers, often unequal agreements that ceded land and resources. Indirect rule. In some cases, European powers rule through existing African political structures, manipulating them for their own benefit. Egypt, British in some parts of Africa. Another one is proxy forces. European powers sometimes used armed forces led by Africans to control territories. The next one is missionary activity. Christian missionaries spread European religion and values, undermining traditional beliefs and social structures. Another one is education system. Colonial education system aimed to assimilate Africans into African culture and create a loyal workforce. The last one is propaganda. Europeans portrayed themselves as superior and their rule as beneficial while often demeaning African cultures. That will, that will be the end of our class. I wish you a nice day and we'll meet in the next class.